Well, the honors project, there's 5 of them, and that was initiated last spring. And it was initiated by Dean Potter and Maud Bigford, who was retiring at that time. And so they initiated the idea of putting something in each one of the dorms. This is when they were expanding to 5 dorms that symbolized honors. So what they did then, instead of just having something generic like a sign, they decided on categories, and that each one of these sculptures should address some priority for the honors program. So, and they eventually came up with a list, and the list was global, community, scholarship, leadership, and the last one was culture. So those are their sort of broad categories. Then I started working on drawings. And one of the priorities for the drawings, since there was one artist doing the designing, was to try to change them enough so that each one seemed different. So not only do they represent different categories, I tried to change the style a little bit. Once you have the drawings done, then you go into a number of processes. Of course, you have the meetings, you talk about the drawings, and they showed the drawings around, and then we went into kind of process. And the process had to be ready to go when school started so that we can involve the students.
I'm a welding engineering technology student, and I've been a part of the project since September, about 5 months now, and I'm just welding little pieces together.
Today is technically my first day being involved in this process. I'm actually in his 3-dimensional design class, so I'm over in the other room working on some other stuff. So he's kind of brought me in here a couple days a week and has showed me some of oh, this is what we're working on, this is what we're gonna need you to do. So he's been preparing me for a couple weeks now, but today's the first day that I've actually been in the classroom working on it.
Well, it's benefited me because being an engineering student, we don't typically deal with these kinds of problems. You know, in engineering, you've got a lot of times easy measurements to make, on square stuff, and everything comes out nice. And when you're dealing with these types of figures and shapes, it's kind of hard to get an idea where you might measure from and finding what square might be off from, round objects that go all over the place. So it's, I don't know, it's just been a benefit because you understand a new sort of problem.
The thing that I've learned the most about being in this project is the dynamics between space and material and working with your hands. And you can see something on paper, but it's different in real life, so it's testing your perceptual abilities.
I think one of the fun things now is that there's going to be a naming competition. Now, the naming competition doesn't have to be a title. And the honors students are going to start walking by these things and looking at them and sort of living with them. Now, I'm not concerned about like or dislike. I don't care, and they're all different, so everybody's going to have sort of their choice. What I'm interested in is ownership. They begin to embrace these things, and they become theirs. And one way to allow ownership is to let them title. And these titles don't have to be formal titles. They don't have to be like the red thing or something. They can be a poem. They can be something else. I don't know. We're open to ideas. Who knows? So that's kind of a cool idea.